You steady your hand as the coded note sweats through your palm, numbers repeating under your breath, pulse chasing the metronome of hidden anxiety. Benches creak in the dusk-lit park, every pigeon feeder or cyclist a possible tail, every street lamp a camera. You scan for the drop target, red scarf, left bench, just as a patrol car glides by, blue lights painting your face. If you freeze, the whole network burns. If you falter, you never wake up the same way again. One move and the life you barely remember is gone. All you have is the mission, and the voice in your earpiece you're not sure is real. No one warned you it would begin like this. Nameless paperwork, shuffling under the hum of flickering fluorescent lights, cold with bureaucracy. The clinical trial had claimed memory enhancement for cognitive research. Standard forms, offhand consent, no signals of hidden motives. Dr. Liu enters calm and precise. She tests your pupils, then presses a chilling, buzzing gel to your temples, outlining side effects, disorientation, headaches, insomnia. The first injection happens fast, but its impact is sharp. Electric pulses race up your spine. Something vital feels distant. You try to hold the number sequence. She says 5, 17, 4, 42. It echoes, then vanishes into static. Names and birthdays become elusive, abstract. You sign forms you don't recall reading. The signature looks nothing like your own. A week inside the clinic finds you locked in routine. Unpredictable medication trays greet you each morning. Lights rise and fade at strange times. Days dissolve into memory drills, lightning-quick language tests, abstract puzzles. On your bed, uniforms with stitched initials, aliases, never yours. Your assignments, recite fluid autobiographies, Ohio loner, Hong Kong diplomat's child, fire survivor. Dr. Liu makes her rounds, murmuring to digital recorders, scrutinizing your data. Her instructions to staff, raise oxytocin, initiate recall protocol delta, sound colder than her bedside words. Sleep comes in fragments. Each night you fight to recall your old life, but new memories crowd in. Sometimes you wake knowing how to pick locks or dial international numbers from memory. Staccato code phrases surface unbidden. At breakfast, Agent Collins arrives, mid-40s, gray buzz cut, dry wit and sharp eyes. He sits across from you, watching. You know why you're here? You recite the cover, memory research. His eyes hint at more. For 4 days, Collins runs stress drills, public riddles, fake meetups, noise distractions, and notes how you adapt. Your slips replay in video later. Success earns silence. Loyalty, Collins says, is the real test. After a failed logic test, you're ordered to spend 6 hours isolated in a darkened sensory room. White noise pumped through the ceiling tiles drowns your thoughts. Dr. Liu interviews you through an intercom, her questions looping between your aliases. When you miss more than one detail about an invented relative, a staff tech administers another round of injections through a wall hatch. By the end, your hands shake. Clearance for field testing comes without warning. No ceremony, no uniform. You're dropped into a city park with a radio in your ear, a jacket heavy with counter-surveillance gear, and a mission envelope. Colin's voice. Deliver the message. Lose the tail. Report to safe house. You trace the park, heart pounding, watching glass reflections in every shadow. The drop. A battered paperback on a fountain bench. Faces blur by. A mother, an old man, a looping runner. You leave a note tucked into a page on mid-century architecture. As you walk away, a man in sunglasses flashes past, gone in a blink. A stare lingers from the bus stop. The whole city feels like it's watching. You reach the safe house, dizzy and sweating. Collins quizzes your recall. The book's color, the bench's number. Not bad, he says, handing you another packet. As night falls, Collins quizzes you. What was written on the fountain? How many dogs passed the bench? Was the runner left or right-handed? Your uncertainty exposes itself in the smallest tremors. Before leaving, Collins hands you a folded photograph of yourself, the image distorted, like surveillance footage warped by tech. It is meant to unsettle, a reminder that the game always turns back on you. Training accelerates. Collins monitors as you map urban escapes from memory, rattle off histories and 3 identities. Simulation rooms become pressure cookers, mock interrogations, reversed loyalties. One night, Collins fakes defection, forcing you to pursue him through crowds, dodge a tail, then break protocol to save him before flipping back and challenging your breach of orders. Message. Trust no one, not even your handlers. He recognizes your instincts, but keeps the pressure unrelenting. New protocol arrives, an objective to execute under timed stress. Wearing a false badge, you must pass through a simulated customs checkpoint run by hostile agents. When you falter and security starts an aggressive pat-down, Collins orders you, via earpiece, to bribe your way out. using a number you've been conditioned to repeat. The code works, but the guilt of having no memory planting the bribe money leaves you nauseous. Mission 2. Surveillance. Target, suspected double agent Stallworth, Diamond Hotel, room 7112. Your tasks. Plan a tracker, find evidence of foreign contact, stay unseen. You book a room nearby. Tech arrives, disguised as a cigarette pack. Fear simmers, but you're ready. That night, using a borrowed uniform, you time your move with a passing cleaning cart. Inside, you plant the tracker behind a mirror, sift through drawers, passport, cash, business card from the Russian consulate. A red-coded message in your brain. Intersection. As the elevator pings, you're out, silent, nerves blazing. Collins demands details. Every sound, every step. Less than perfect recall earns a mark against you. Complication strikes on the second night. Stallworth returns unexpectedly while you are installing a second camera. You hide pressed beneath the bed frame as his phone rings and he yells at someone in Hungarian. When he finally stumbles into the shower, you slip out, leaving the lens half covered by an old receipt. The next morning, Collins notes the broken protocol. Your report didn't match the digital record. After 2 weeks of review, your assignment shifts. High-profile embassy event. Collins hands you a Norwegian passport and a miniature camera brooch. The mark, a locked drawer holding microfilm. You circulate, nursing Prosecco and practicing diplomatic small talk. At 9:37, you slip away during a toast, scale the stairs through a guard's hard stare. You fumble at the lock, interrupted by another guard. You feign confusion, mask your panic. He inspects your pass, then lets you go, barely. In a stall, you recover the microfilm from your waistband, heartbeat stuttering. Collins tells you in the morning, the encounter was a loyalty test. Failure would have meant the end. Hours later, you're told to return to the scene. Retrieve a planted listening device in the coat room before the building is swept for bugs. The clock is tighter. This time, guards flank every entrance. You slip in under the pretext of looking for a lost glove and, with your pulse hammering, find the device, but one battery has corroded and left acid burn marks on the coat lining. A potential tell. On egress, a junior attaché accosts you about your accent, but you bluff successfully, knowing you have only minutes before embassy cameras are reviewed. Dr. Liu's next debrief is different. She praises your improvisation, then attacks your memories with trick questions. Did you see secrets on the microfilm? Was the guard armed? Was there a red umbrella in the hole? Uncertainties pile up. That night, speakers play a voice recounting your missions. With small distortions, edits bleeding into memory. Each session erodes your recall further. Tests become increasingly abstract, identifying faces replaced by guessing at your own voice distorted through audio scramblers. A week later, you're dispatched abroad. Gray skies, neon, rain. You pose as a university student in a crumbling flat by Old Town. Your cover, in bed with an activist cell suspected of foreign backers. Meetings happen in a cluttered basement, thick with suspicion. Anna, their leader, checks your story daily. Their planned demonstration means weeks of coded reports, routes, contacts, fallback points. You pass intel via dead drops. Anna prees for your history. You sell a fabricated exile so well you begin to doubt what's real. You practice their escape drills. You keep your real skills hidden. The pretense is exhausting. You're tasked with tracking a shipment, packages allegedly coming with protest banners, possibly containing encrypted hardware. You intercept a parcel and discover a tracker that isn't yours, raising the specter of a third party. That evening, a coded message from headquarters warns you to expect friendly competition. You spot a flash of Ramirez on surveillance footage from a distant street camera and begin doubting the boundaries of the mission. Paranoia grows. Black sedans tail you, following from bars, idling under windows. Sleep deprivation scrapes away reality. Hallucinations flicker, voices, faces, crowds moving in sync with your heartbeat. You increase your medication, but it just numbs you. Collins, clinical and remote, tells you, paranoia and prudence. It's part of the job. The pressure escalates when the activist group is infiltrated by a government informant. You are ordered via encrypted message to feed the informant false evidence of foreign funding. The real activists start questioning recent events. A planned safe house is raided, and you're nearly caught in the operation. Anna grows distant. You lay low, sending off reports in invisible ink on the backs of flyers. Every contact becomes a test of survival. Without warning, Collins vanishes. No signals, no drops. A burner phone brings new instructions. Execute a briefcase handoff at the train station. Red scarf, west platform, 8:19 a.m. The terminal churns with chaos. You find the courier, make the switch. In that split second, a car explodes outside. Glass shatters, the crowd buckles. Your courier is down, blood marking his scarf. Amid panic, you see a child in danger. Training says leave, blend in. You dive, pull the child behind cover. Cameras catch everything. Within hours, your face is all over phone videos. Your cover starts to unravel. You are forced to interleave counter-surveillance routines with desperate cleanup, using street vendors as intermediaries to retrieve the briefcase, burning documents in stolen kitchen stoves. At one point, you rent a train locker under a false name and are intercepted by plainclothes officers. A tense 5-minute interrogation ends only when your fake diplomatic credentials are reluctantly accepted. Internal affairs move quickly. A tribunal calls you in. Supervisors push evidence. CCTV logs, mismatches in your aliases, foreign files leaked online, pattern drift, protocol violations. Dr. Liu claims you're hiding divided loyalties. You're confined, cut off, your days reduced to interrogations and silent meals. Agents from a parallel office, jostling for control, search your flat while you watch. Your belongings are archived into evidence bags as Dr. Liu interviews you through double glass. There are veiled threats. Security failures have costs. A single misstep could mean being rendered to a black site, as you see happen to another agent you knew in passing. Still, the pace doesn't slow. New mission. Extract a defecting scientist critical to the program, ahead of foreign interception. The rendezvous, a crowded cafe. You memorize every detail. When you approach, the scientist says, "You're not who they described," then bolts. You chase, feign distress, then slip out a side door. You abort, hiding comms in a storm drain. You know what failure costs. Reviewing surveillance later, you notice a figure loitering near the cafe. Ramirez, watching from a tram stop, recording your scramble on an old phone. It becomes clear the scientist's information had been leaked, likely by someone inside headquarters. Your faith in the structure wavers. With few options, you dig into your records. Under floorboards, you uncover a coded file. Photos, news clippings tied to your lost stretches of time. Every incident loops back to your disguised face. The weight sinks in. You were the cause of deaths you can't remember. Doctrine says to burn the evidence, but at what price? You suffer a near capture while decoding the file in a public library? A stranger sits too close, scripts a code sentence, and you barely manage to lose him by slipping out a fire exit, ditching your phone in a fountain as you go. When you later decrypt the file, it lists your face as operative across several deaths marked as accidents, with times when you recall having been in isolation. Your next target is personal. Ramirez, a fellow trainee, now marked as a threat. You arrange a rooftop meet above the city. Ramirez tosses you a coin. Inside, a microdot carries your kill order. You trade verification then. In a tense moment, you shoot a pipe overhead, creating chaos as Ramirez stages a fall. Alarms blare. Your report, order executed. Reality, a pact of survival, for now. Ramirez contacts you later at an abandoned subway. They'll come for us both now. He hands you a data drive containing their own memory files, coded under a children's alphabet song. You agree on an emergency channel in case extraction is necessary. The mission shifts to erasure. You're sent to destroy the program's digital archive. Wipe it all. Helicopter drop at dawn, forest perimeter. You breach fences, sneak corridors, evade guards and dogs. Smoke bombs, server room charges, alarms echo behind you. Gas hisses, lights strobe. You torch records, leap over bays, vanish into wet woods, sirens in the distance. Memory jolts hit, scrambled orders, scenes not your own. Identities blur as you vanish. A final complication. As torching the files, you find a separate vault with analog tapes labeled with your own alias and Dr. Liu's notes, unreadable without the correct playback device. Without time, you set the vault alight, the flames reflected in your eyes as you run. Outside, a perimeter patrol nearly captures you, but you collapse into a chemical flashback. You see Collins in a gas mask. They do not help, only watch. Exiled, you survive on fragments of tradecraft. Motels, burner phones, run-ins with shady security. Ramirez sends a coded message. No one is clean. Paranoia is constant. Your sense of self splinters to old names and past missions. You experiment with the rotation of your cover identities. Each is now only tenuously attached to genuine memory. During your lowest ebb, you attempt to contact Anna, but find she was arrested weeks ago, her fate uncertain. Rumors swirl that Liu is about to appear before a secret tribunal. You dodge a makeshift team sent to recover you, barely escaping an ambush at a metro platform by spraying industrial solvent to force a crowd panic. Then a break. Elena Park, the journalist you once shadowed, exposes the program on TV. You vet her, then reach out, meeting in an all-night diner. You pass her a drive of documents, redacted files, sign-offs from Liu and Collins. Elena listens, questions sharp but steady. She asks if you regret it. Regret is too simple, you answer. She promises to publish. Before the story goes live, you take precautions, destroying remnants of your true identity, planting false rumors of your location, encrypting your final message to Ramirez. You spot a tail at the diner but lose them by swapping coats with a dishwasher and exiting through the kitchen. The scandal explodes, arrests and headlines everywhere. Dr. Liu is let out in handcuffs. Collins disappears, his traces surfacing in foreign leaks. Your name stays secret, but the revelations cut close to home. Alone in a dim motel, you watch the news cycle. Allegations, outrage, demands for justice. The calls stop. The training's grip loosens. Your actions scatter into disconnected fragments. In isolation, you repeat every alias. Daniel, Alex, Song, Mason. None feel right. Some nights you wonder whether telling the truth changed anything. You remind yourself people deserved it, even if it cost you everything. The face in the mirror is just a witness. Neither hero nor villain, but changed, anonymous. Watching the world move on, you carry the weight of what you did in every name but your own. Sacrifice fulfills the final mission, revealing a truth no one will ever fully grasp.